The use of the articles. Now, use of articles in English is different in Spanish. Sometimes there's difficulty in translating from Spanish into English. That's why you need to get to a place where you don't do translating. You just simply speak English strictly as English. As you can see in this, we have what they call incorrect sentence. I have a good news for you, which you would put the article in. You usually put the article in, as I observed, before a noun. We don't do that in English. Uh, we use articles such as a, good news, a or the or whatever to particularize something. Like I go to school, but I go to the school that is near my home. It's a particular school. A general school is I go to school, I go to any school. So in this case, we have a good news for you, and the correct English for that is I have good news for you. Let's go to the next one. The men are national beings, and the correct is men are national beings. So if I said I put the men in Mexico are national beings. That particularizes it. But if I'm generalizing it, I would just say men are national beings. Now, this is a page I found on the internet. The internet is a great source for information. And this one is showing you the articles, the common errors that people make when they try to translate from Spanish into English. That's why I say you must listen, listen, listen. Listen to correct English. Get away from translation. As I mentioned, this is a page I found on the internet. I love the internet because it has all the information I want and I don't have to create stuff, especially for my class. So this is the common errors, and it's not just articles. I'll show you the next. This one you can see is the use of nouns, which I think are also mistakes that are made in doing translations. Here we have the clock has struck 5 hours. Well, in Spanish, you use that phrase, type of hours, a las 5 horas. So here we say in English, the clock has struck 5. We just use a number. And down here we have, there is no place in the hall. They have here, there is no room in the hall. And you could actually use that in Spanish. Here we have the use of adjectives. Here they give an example. He is sick. We would probably use the word he is ill. It's a matter of selection of a word. But then again, when we come to certain other words, I have a strong headache. Yes, you probably would say that in Spanish, but we would use something like we have a severe headache. And let's go down to one more. This is more preferable than that. We would say this is preferable to that. Okay? So it's those translations that can get you into trouble when you try to speak English. Here we have the use of adverbs. He does not know to swim. Okay, I'm sure that could be a translation in Spanish. And here we have, he does not know how to swim. You go down to the next one, don't go in the sun. we would say do not go out into the sun. And go out is a phrasal verb, and that's the way we would generally do it. Then we come to the next one. I know him too well. Well, we would say I know him very well. Too has a different meaning than very. Okay, so it's difficult sometimes to make that distinction when translating. We have errors in sentence construction. We have incorrect. One of his family members is dead. And then we would say a member of his family is dead, or one of the members of his family is dead. Spanish tends to be very formal. This is a very formal way of saying one of his family members is dead. That's very, we would want to say that. We want to be informal. We want to sound informal when we speak. So this is another uh, problem with translating. That's why I keep emphasizing over and over again, listen to it, learn it by hearing it. Now, this is a page I have found on the internet, and it's full of wonderful, wonderful help in helping you to master English. I will put the link down in the comments uh, below or the explanation below. Click on it and go there and use this uh, to help you in your English. As you, as you can see from here, it has all kinds of things that you can use. Well, let's take a look at word definitions, for example, see if that works up fine on my screen. So we look at word definitions, able and capable. Now it says able. If someone or something is able to do something, they have skills or qualities which make it possible for them to do it. But capable means if a person or thing is capable of doing something, they have the ability, the capacity, the potential to do it. So there is a lot of confusion in some of these words because some of these words are very similar. Here we have another, the other. Another is another thing or person means an additional thing or person of the same type as the one that already exists. The other thing or person means only remaining thing or person except the existing ones. Here we have examples. Have another piece of cake or please fetch. Now, this is a word you probably never heard too much, but fetch is a word used in English. It means to go to something and bring it back to me. Please fetch another cup for me. And that's quite another matter. And here we have both my uncles are abroad, one in Paris and the other in New York. And we come to this one of them is yours, the other is mine. Here we have a further explanation. When we are given two options, we say one or the other. When we are giving more than two options, we say one or another. Now, I'd like to send you something like this. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to learn. I can make videos like this one, more complete, or I can send you this information and you do the study yourself. Everything is there. You just merely got to read it. And when you have conversation with me, if you need further explanation, I can explain it further to you. So let me know what you think is best for you. I'm trying to find the best system possible to make it easy for you to learn and to make it as rapid as possible. I just want to finish up here as a translation of Spanish and English, or how we would say it in English and how it ends up in Spanish, for example. Here we're saying, I say, most people are honest. That's a complete sentence and makes sense to me. But over here you say, la mayoría, and de las personas son honestas. Okay, my friend. But anyhow, here we have an article. Here we use a preposition, which we didn't use. And here you use another, like an article, but they are, we don't say that. We say are. Here you say they are. We say most people are honest. So you are more poetic, okay, whatever. But coming down to the next one, we say he is the most unusual person I ever met. And again, you use the articles, okay, and it ends up being much different sounding as in English, and almost everyone has a desire to succeed. And here you have they are, everyone has a desire of to be successful. So you say it different in Spanish, and it's fine in Spanish when you speak in Spanish, but when you speak in English, it has to be different. And that's why I say listen, listen, listen.